Singapore's non-oil domestic exports continued to fall in April, dropping 10% year-on-year. They continued the downward trend from the previous month, which saw exports slump to their worst in more than 2 years.
April's numbers also performed below economists' expectations. Both electronic and non-electronic exports also declined, with shipments to most top markets falling.
Economists were expecting a 6% decline for April, but figures from Enterprise Singapore showed exports fell by 10%, the second consecutive month of decline. Of this, pharmaceutical exports fell by nearly 50%, although electronic exports shrank at a slower pace. Economists say this may be because businesses had been prepared for tariff hikes since last year, hence reducing the need to import more.
A lot of the stuff could have been front-loaded and ordered last year, prepaid for as well. Some could still come through, but obviously that depends on the state of demand at that point. So if global growth is going to be far more slower, you might find that you don't need to front-load as much as you thought, because you might not be able to sell those stuff even though it's pre-tariff prices.
Exports to the majority of Singapore's top markets also decreased in April, prompting concerns that this weakness could be extended.
Within ASEAN, Singapore's exports to Malaysia, Thailand, numbers are appearing to be very weak. And our worry is also that this US-China escalating trade tensions may also derail the recovery in the electronic cycle that we were hoping for in the second half of the year.
These headwinds have prompted economists to turn more cautious in their forecasts, warning that labour conditions could be tight.
Could be a very tough sort of year plus for Singapore and our labour market and labour condition if we were to see a further deterioration on the external demand front.
Now we see downside risk to our GDP forecast as well. We expected a 1.8% growth for 2019, but given that manufacturing is now already in a decline, and together with the continued decline in exports, we expect we see some downside risk to our forecast.
Year to date, Singapore's exports have fallen almost 7%, which is below the 0 to 2% range given by Enterprise Singapore. However, total trade increased by 3.2% in April as growth in imports outweighed exports.